Here we go. All right, teachers, welcome. Welcome all those who are joining at the moment. All right, my name is Sigrid from MM Publications. Welcome to Belt English. All right, so let's do a brief overview of what Belt English is and what makes us different. First, we are Korea office of MM Publications, which is based in Europe. In the Korea office, we have put together a program called Belt English to meet the needs of the Korean market. And so BELT stands for Best English Language Teaching English System. All right, and so the very first a few things that help us identify what makes us different from other publishers or why we've been successful is that our definition of your role as a teacher, right? You're not just here to simply go through the books, the pages that your director tells you to. You are a teacher, meaning you are to share your knowledge, but not only at sharing, you're going to encourage them, invite them to, and help them gain the English speaking ability. So you're not just there to just end at teaching, but you want them to be able to utilize what you teach as well. And so the next point is our understanding of how you should be teaching. Should you be teaching lecture or as a lecturer, or should you help them to gain their knowledge, meaning be able to communicate in English with others, right? So that when you hear the word lecture, you might be thinking about your professors at university who talked on and on for 2 hours, if not more. Similar, but you basically, a lecturer in English classroom environment is you talking, you're making the jokes and laughing it by yourself. That is, essence, lecturing, you're talking by yourself, right? And we want to move away from that because that doesn't help. Next thing that differentiates us is our usage of spiral syllabus. Our curriculum has been designed to present or repeat certain key concepts all again and again throughout the curriculum. And what it does is that at the beginning level, they learn simple concepts of certain key concepts like grammar rules. Then as they go higher into the level, we expose them, we teach them more complex, more complex concept, expanded again. And so this helps with the long-term memory, meaning it's not just a short-term memory, you prepare them for the test, but make it theirs. They know it for themselves, meaning they're able to use it. And all this is based out of the CEFR system, which is a European standard that defines and measures one's proficiency for communication, not knowledge. Level of proficiency for communication, meaning how well are they able to communicate with another person, right? So in other words, not how much they know, but how well they're able to apply the language that they have learned. So then, with the CEFR is mentioned about communication, proficiency for communication. And so then I think there's a need to talk about what is the difference between talking and communicating. If you look at many of the products here in the Korean market, it's just 2 types. One, memorized vocabulary or memorized sentences. And as we have all seen, those have not helped. Many of the adults who've gone through the system still unable to speak in English, communicate in English. And so then, what is communication? Communication requires interactions and understanding, meaning right now I'm talking to you because it's a webinar, but I love to do face-to-face seminar and teaching session because I get to see your reaction. I can ask you questions. In asking, I can check whether you have understood my question and what I have said, and you respond. So that is communication, interaction and understanding of each other, and you respond to it, right? So if you're lecturing in your classroom, right, if you're the only one who's talking in your class, you're the only one who's making jokes and laughing it by yourself, Does that help your kids? No. So then what you need to do is to help you must become a facilitator, meaning you have to create an environment where they get to say, practice, have them, give them opportunity to make jokes so their classmate will laugh, right? So you're to facilitate besides teaching and not lecture, right? And that in essence means that you need to create a learner-centered classroom environment, not lecturing, but have students interact with you, with each other. All right, so then so how does this happen, right? How does this happen? How can you create that? This is where the Belt English system comes in, right? We give you the solution, meaning the contents to create this communicative teaching environment. And we have created materials to do so. And we've been very successful here in Korea as well as abroad. And so within the Belt curriculum, we have 3 independent syllabus working together to maximize practice and usage. That leads to successful communication. And so I wanted to kind of point out, in your definition, what is practice? How have you given your student practice? Give them opportunity to practice. Is that memorizing vocabulary words, memorizing the sentences? Does that help? Has that helped? Right? So the difference is that 3 independent syllabus is the key here that makes us, that has helped us be successful. It's not the curriculum going at the same speed one from another, meaning coursebook to grammar to online, not the same vocabulary situation repeating in coursebook, grammar, online. That has not been successful. That's memorizing. The practice, meaning it becomes an extension from what they learn from another. And that creates the synergy. That gives them the application practice opportunities. And that's why we've been successful. So then you need to understand that because we have these 3 independent systems, syllabus, they come together to provide blended learning. Blended learning is all about doing online and offline work. The idea of online work is that because students do not learn at the same pace, giving students online learning, they get to practice things at their own pace and speed. All right, but oftentimes that has become more of a repetition. And so we believe that true blended learning is something that we give, which is independent syllabus, but linked together with a common target concept. So let me show you how. Here is an example of a key concept learning in top stars. The present simple of go, preposition of time. And so it's about these 4 friends talking about different seasons, right? And why they're cold, who has cold and not. Then you go to another lesson in top stars. We're talking about people, their lifestyle and what they do in different seasons. Then you come to our grammar book. It's the same preposition of go with ing now, present simple with go ing and prepositions of time, but with different character and different situation. It's about Greg and mothers telling Greg to go to bed, right? Because, or else he'll be late for work tomorrow. I mean, not work, late for school tomorrow. And so then you come online. Again, it's the same present simple go or go ing with preposition of time on, in, at. Completely different character and completely different situation. This is what we believe is a true blended learning. If you have the same online material that is exactly same as the course book, same vocabulary, same target language, same situations and character, then your student, they don't have to think. They just have to remember and answer it. But if you change the situation, that makes it a practice. an application practice. So this is what we mean by blended learning. And we have weekly assessments with vocabulary test, dictation test, and you can extend, expand, and apply with our graded reading books, where we use the same target language learned at that course book level. And we have recreated these classical stories. So what that means is that student who finished level 2, they can pick up any level 2 books and they actually understand more than half of it on their own. Now, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that make reading fun? But if you give them level 5 books when they've only learned level 2, that is what torture is. It doesn't become fun, right? So here we go. Then another thing that differentiates us that's been successful, that's very unique to MM, is this idea of modular approach. We don't call it chapters, we call it module. And each module gives an in-depth analysis of a certain topic because it repeats certain grammatical and lexical items again and again using various different language skills and learning styles. And so each module will have a certain theme. And within each module, there are 7 lessons plus the test, right? And the first 4 lessons, as you can see here, we call it presentation lesson because we teach new target language. And then the remaining lessons, we call it consolidation lesson. It's a fancy word for review, but these target language right here from the first 4, they're presented in a new situation with new characteristic, new vocabulary words. And in it, you get to review, recycle, and help students understand the different usage. The reason why we do this, we have created a program or module like this, is because we're working with an EFL learners, meaning English as a foreign language learners. In an ESL, where they need to adopt a new language because of their environment, they get to practice, they get to hear that constantly as they live their daily life. But because we're in an EFL, we need to give them that indirect experience. And that's what this modular approach help create that for your students. We have additional consolidation lessons in Top Stars. Those are called Smart Moves, Self-Evaluation, Top Skills, Timeout Video, worksheets for it, phonics, and Korean lessons. And I'll be sharing you more about that. Now, the thing that with each module, there are 7 lessons with additional consolidation lesson. But within each lesson, we incorporate different learning styles because not everyone learns it the same way. And this helps you to repeat, listen to the song again, watch the video again, and that repetition doesn't become, it's not boring. Repeating the same target language is not boring because we incorporate various learning style within each lesson. And we don't only stop at teaching them these, incorporating the skills, but we help them build skills, real life skills that they need for the 21st century, meaning when they become an adult to become a workforce here, they'll become a great global citizen. We talked about the spiral syllabus earlier, but this gives an idea of what that is. We repeat the same target language in a more expanded, complex situations and concepts. Right? These arrows represent when these target language are repeated again at another level. So then how many times is the purpose of it is to help create long-term memory, because how many times is enough? You've been teaching for, let's say, 10 years. Your student still struggles with I have and he has. They'll often say he have, right? How many times is enough? Memorizing isn't the key. Just repeating isn't the key. It's the practice, right? Applicable practice that makes it perfect. And that perfect practice will make it perfect for the kids, meaning it will make it theirs. They'll be able to utilize it, internalize it. Okay, so then let's go deeper into the actual Belt English primary program, Top Stars. Within the primary, the Top Stars program, you have the 5 components: the ELT skills online learning platform, the course book Top Stars, grammar book, student smart grammar and vocabulary, graded readers, and the Cambridge exam prep books. And the goal is to reach the A2 level. And within the Top Stars program, there are a total of 6 levels, 1 through 6. Each takes about 9 months to finish or longer. And here we have a recommendation on level 1. You use ELT skills level 1, Top Stars level 1, grammar level 1. And so we show you which books to use at that level. We have the graded readers as well as when to take the Cambridge exam. So 6 levels of Top Stars. Within the Top Stars curriculum program, we have the weekly test, monthly test, bi-monthly, quarterly test, end of a level, and exam prep, like the assessment system here. And you can look at item 2 of the Chodo USB, the initial package USB for detailed schedule. But here's an example. We tell you which lessons to cover online, which lessons to cover on course book and grammar, as well as we recommend the graded readers we recommend for you. Now, certain lessons aren't available at certain level, and so this page kind of highlights that, but I think you can see it better here. So lessons such as Smart Move, which promotes critical thinking skills, is not available at level 1. It actually appears from level 2. A lesson called Kure happens from level 4. And lessons such as self-evaluation from level 3. Kids can't evaluate themselves in English if they don't know the basic part of I have, I can, or can't, right? They must first learn that concept. Now let's look at the components for students as well as for teachers. Students, there's a student book, workbook, multimedia CD, multimedia student CD, right? And so they can preview the lessons ahead with audios, videos, and games vocabulary list. Then for you teachers, you have the teacher's book, the IWB, as well as teacher's resource material. The teacher's resource material, it's in the Chodo USB. If you don't have it, please call our office or talk to your director first, right? And these are just the books and components. And so regardless of where you are within the week, the students will do the online learning platform homework. And that is with the English skills. The English skills, it's the new belt note, and it has instructions on what student needs to watch, listen, which activities to solve, as well as give them writing practice to the target language that they need to learn. And it's a project-based writing. And so we give them a certain situation where they can practice the specific target language and apply it to their real life, right? So if you have any questions about this, please ask me, and I will be addressing it a little more in a bit. Okay, now getting started with the, as you're preparing to teach, these are some things that we would like for you to note. Like you need to look at the IWB first. And so these are some key ideas, things that you need to remember, right? You have to open the program with using the following a web browser, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or Naver Whale. Press F11 to full screen, right? Create a shortcut on the desktop, but your program shouldn't be saved on a desktop. Now, teacher's book, I mentioned, that's what you need to teach. Teacher's book is literally like a Bible for your class. It identifies the target language and it reminds you of the material you need. We have a step-by-step instruction guidance for how to lead the class, listening transcript, answers to workbook, as well as the question you should be asking your students. And those questions have been carefully designed to help student interact, meaning help the question's been designed so that they can understand you. It's with the target language structure they have learned previously. Okay, and so please take a look at it and study it, because it will only inspire you to be a better teacher. Now, next thing you're going to need when you teach is the teacher's resource material. Within it, you'll find the test, keys and listening transcript, as well as the worksheets you need to teach, flashcards, video worksheet, as well as the word list. Okay, I want to go over some of the rules, some skills that we would like for you to learn, obtain as you teach with our books, our program. First is to teach with end in mind. Every speaking activity and every lesson ends with a speaking activity. And you should plan to spend 20 minutes on that speaking activity, at least 15 to 25 would be ideal. So if you have a 50 minutes, that's about 2/3 to a half of your class time, you're going to do the speaking activity. And here I've given you ideas on what you can do to spend that 20 minutes. But the idea is that you give them opportunity to speak. So you don't talk by yourself, they get to practice. And also, as you spend 20 minutes of the speaking activity, it helps you with this concept of the TESOL major concept, less the TTT, teacher talk time, and increase the student talk time. All right, I'll be demonstrating how to create this in a bit. Next rule is to do this ELSR, elicit, listen, speak, and read. Always before you start, even in the teacher's book, they give you questions to ask. There's always instructions to elicit from student. Ask student what they think is happening before you read and listen. There's a reason for that. You want to get them to think, use their brain. It's easier to open the door that's unlocked. If it's a locked door, it's more difficult to open that door. Elicit, it's unlocking the door, right? And then after that, you have them listen, after having them, and that will develop their listening skills and listening comprehension skills. Then you have them speak. And once they know the content, you then have them read or watch, right? And so next is encouraging complete sentence. Our speaking activity, we always give you an example and they're of the complete sentence. And so we need you to be that medium. A lot of the times when I visit academies, I ask students as I'm passing by, and the question I ask is, how old are you? About 9 out of 10, they say the simple word, just the age, 10, 12, 9. That's because oftentimes it's the adults, the teachers who say, oh, good, you're 10 years old, and finish it. But if you encourage them to say, I'm 10 years old, that's how they respond when some strange person asks, right? And so that is the skill we want in our students, be able to say things in complete sentence and don't freak out. The complete sentence should come very naturally because you've been encouraging that in the classroom. Last concept, I think this is the last concept, is to recycle, meaning like I said, in the teacher's book, we gave you questions and those questions recycle the target language they have learned previously, right? And so you should be doing the same with all your questions, right? That helps students to understand you and be able to respond to you. And that's why they feel confident because they know what the heck you're saying. Okay, so then without further ado, let me open up the IWB and demonstrate a couple lessons for you. First, the IWB, you need to go to the file, save it to your C or D drive. In my case, I have it in an external drive called My Passport, and it's an F drive. Click on the level you need, double click on this icon called Main Menu. If this is not on Chrome, you want to right click it I don't know if you're seeing this, but you can right click it. Actually, hold on. Let's do this. Okay. You can right click it and open with and choose any of this. Just don't pick Internet Explorer because some of the functions will not work. Okay. So I'm opening it with, you press F11 full screen. Let's make sure that I'm on the same page with you. Okay, so you can zoom in to make it bigger. All right, so then let's pick everything in the student book. Pages are here. Everything from the workbook are here. And any of these lessons from the main page right here, those you need to print separately from the teacher's resource material. So self-evaluation, special days, video and worksheet, they are in the teacher's resource material, not in the teacher's book, okay? So let's demonstrate a module first. First, tell you about different functions within the IWB, and I'm going to do this. So when you click on the student book, it'll take you to the module. When you click on the module, it'll show you the different pages. Click on the one you're going to do, and it'll take you to that specific page. Here, this will take you to the workbook, and you just simply come back to the student book. If you click on vocabulary, it will automatically filter down to the words that you need for that lesson. But if you can search alphabetically here or by module, it was module 3, top stars, and again, it filters down to the words that you need. Okay, you can click to expand, and you can listen to it. You can see the answers. You can watch videos. You can access the vocabulary list at any time. This will show the text. This will take you back to the main page, right? And so right here, you can click on the text at any time for
I'm studying.
You have these tools to write, change the thickness, change the color, right? Let's turn it into a pen, change it to green. Then I want to highlight just this one, or erase this, or gray out the others. So, and you have the erasers to undo it all, delete all, and you have this covering slide. So please become familiar with the tools available for you. You also have the Zoom tools. If you're ever doing Zoom class, that's also helpful. Now, here's a button that wasn't available in the previous section right here, right? These are any additional reference, background knowledge, information you need, you may refer to while teaching. You will often see this during the target language, when you're teaching target language, right? We have put things that your student may struggle, that we have seen struggle at this level, at this state, which is the full form and short form. And so we have put that with some explanation, very brief, simple explanation of a present continuous, because that is the target language here, right? Then you go into the speaking activity. So the arrows, when you're in the main page, it'll take you to the different pages. When you're within the lesson, it'll take you to the different activity. Now notice in this picture right here, instead of arrow, you need to scroll down to view the other pages. Yeah. Another functions I'd like to show you is this right here. So you have students ask the questions. Let's see what's in the paper clip. Oh, it's those comic strip. So you don't have to go back and forth to answer or check the answer. If you click here for answer, it'll highlight I will circle it for you. And if you click on this question mark, it will highlight the answer, right? If student answers it wrong, you simply click this and have them figure out the answer and give the correct answer. Now here's a listening activity. Every listening activity, there's a listening transcript in the attachment. And so you can easily transform this lesson into a reading activity instead of just doing it as a speaking. You can also turn it into a speaking activity by zooming in and have students describe each page, right? And so what we give you, the material we've created, is very flexible. You can adapt to the needs of your student, the weaknesses of your students, right? This will help you be really effective in teaching. Again, you simply
Is Betty eating?
And it'll play the audio. So IWB is like having another teacher, like a best friend. Well, having another teacher, and so you should become a best friend with this teacher, right? The IWB, become a best friend. Learn all the functions with it because it'll help you. Finally, let's go on. So if you come to the end of the module, so if you look here, the first lesson, there's a target language, which is affirmative or present continuous. Here's a question form on the second lesson. Third lesson, negative form. Fourth lesson, it's called what time is it? From fifth lesson right here, this becomes then consolidation lesson. The target language is from first three actually. It comes together in a new situation with physical education. Then sixth lesson called story. Again, target language coming together in a brand new situation of this story called Grasshopper and the Ant. And then the final is the review. But we have another consolidation lesson called video and worksheet, which you can print from the teacher's resource material and watch a video to consolidate the target language, again, in a new situation. And so you can also access the video worksheets, self-evaluation, one for every module. Special days are for the special holidays, so that's optional. But we have additional consolidations in the workbook, and it's not in the same module that you do, but in the even number modules. So smart moves right here and top skills, right? So certain lessons are in the workbook, so please follow your schedule and understand where to find the lessons. Okay, now that I've explained the different functions, oh, right, you have 2 games per module. It changes every time you go in. So you can play as often as many times as you like. It should be used to promote certain behavior like grade or good behavior, accomplishments, instead of using them to settle down to start class, right? Okay, now I feel like I should also show you the teacher's research material, but I'll do that after demonstrating. So let me first demonstrate a lesson, and I'll be asking you questions and also pause to give some comments. Okay, so all right, friends, we're learning a new module. What is it called? What are you doing? Right, module 3, what are you doing? So let's learn new vocabularies here. Okay, so look at this picture. Look at the first picture. What do you see? Amelicity. What do you see, friends? Oh, girl. Good. I, girl. No, you're a boy. You're not a girl. I see a girl. Good job. What else do you see, friends? Oh, pen. Oh, good. I see a pen. Very good. Yes, I see a pen too. What else? So after a couple of questions, so then what is she doing? What do you think she's doing? Oh, she's studying. She's doing our homework? Good job, good job. Now let's listen. So just now I've elicited from students. Now I'm going to have them listen. Listen carefully.
She's studying.
Friends, who says studying? Good job. I'm going to give you extra point for good guess. Okay, what is she doing? Let's listen one more time.
She's studying.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. She's studying. That's right. Oh, but Tony, I couldn't hear you. Let's listen and have you say.
She's studying.
She's studying. Very good. So just that part, I make sure that everyone can listen and repeat the word. Then, and say it, right? Then I show them the text. Okay, let's read it together. 3, 2, 1. She's studying. So that's the ELSR in play for the vocabulary part. You can also show it here. Play the audio.
Module 3. What are you doing? Song 1. Vocabulary. She's studying.
What was it? She's studying.
She's cleaning.
She's cleaning.
He's watching TV.
He's watching TV. You'll notice that there's a pauses. You don't have to pause. There time incorporated between, added between the words so that you don't have to pause, right? You can also show the text and
she's cleaning.
Right, there's in your teacher's book, there is a simple game you can play to promote them memorizing these vocabulary words. Then you go to activity 2. Again, the first thing, instruction here in your teacher's book to have students draw their attention to the pictures and ask them what they see. And so that's what I'm going to do. All right, friends, look, we're going to listen to a song. What is it called? It's a beautiful day. Very good. Well, let's look at some of these pictures. Picture 1. What is she doing? Watching. Watching what? Watching TV. Good. Oh, she's watching TV. Good. Right. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Good. Right. Notice if there's a word that they don't know, or if they go off tangent, you can always pick up this vocabulary list. Okay, so of these vocabulary words, which one? We give it, can I just make a comment? Like, it's in the little detail that you know that someone with teaching experience has reviewed this material. In the vocabulary section, it's he's watching, but in the song section, activity section, it's she's watching. Is that little detail I really appreciate. That in itself becomes an application for the kids. Anyway, all right, so write these words. So we're going to listen to a song, but anytime you hear the word watching, I want you to show me one finger. Studying 2, reading 3, cleaning 4. Okay, let's practice. Okay, so I've elicited, now I'm going to practice, preview what they need to hear with me first before listening to the song. So, okay, friends, let's practice. He's reading a book. Okay, 3. He's watching TV. Oh, what? It's a he, but she. Oh, it doesn't matter. I said if they hear the word watching, studying, reading, cleaning, then they need to show me the fingers, right? So, okay, good. I think we're ready to listen. So now let's listen to the song.
2. Listen and match, then sing. It's a beautiful day.
She's watching TV.
I hope you're doing the finger game.
She's reading a book.
Okay, your students a couple of them will not be doing that. So what do? Play the song again. Have them make sure that they're doing the finger techniques. And then after listening to the song, ask friends, how many times did you hear the word watching? then you know the answer, but your student won't, because half of them weren't listening, right? So what do? Play it again. And ask the question, how many times did you hear the word cleaning? So after a while, they'll catch on, right? And so you can do this listening activity. Okay, friends, reading what? A book. Who is? He is, right? So complete sentence, he's reading a book. Okay, so basically, you have told them what they need to hear. And you're going to do listening activity to make sure that they can hear. And because we haven't given you the text like this when playing the song, you can really delve into building that listening skill, listening comprehension skill, right? So it's 3 times. Watching what? Watching TV. Who is? She is. She's watching TV, right? And after doing this few times, then you can watch a video of the same song.
Watching TV.
You can watch it with subtitles
reading.
like this. And you can have your students sing along to the song after a few times. If there's a specific line you struggle with, you just click on it.
The sun is up and it's a beautiful day.
So then you don't have to be the clown. You have students listen and sing along. So again, this is what I mean by having a best friend there. Okay, after doing this, we want to make sure that they can also read it. Right? And so, okay, friends, so she's doing what? She's watching TV. I want you to find that sentence. Now, open your book. Till this time, your students' books are closed. Now open your book, find this sentence and underline it. Do for the rest. Okay, so you have them do, you have them check. So you're checking their reading. Then you go to the next part, which is the target language, key concept. The concept is be able to use the present continuous, but actually the key concept here is to help them introduce, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong lesson, to identify activities happening at the moment of speaking. That is the key concept. Just one function of the present continuous. One of the functions of present continuous, right? So friends, let's read this.
I'm studying.
Okay, what did it say? I'm studying. Very good. Look at teacher. Right now, teacher, right now I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking. I'm talking to you on the webinar. How about you? What are you doing right now? And I'm going to ask each student. Have them say, very good, very good. So listen to the second.
He, she, it's playing.
He, she, it's playing. Good. So then, Tony. Jenny, what is she doing right now? She's listening. Good. Jenny, Tony, he's playing. Okay, so then right away, based on what they have said in the first person, you can switch to third person activity. And after doing that, you say, well, you know, we are all playing or we are all studying right now. But you are writing. And they, not including me, they're sitting. You might want to use a little better example, but I think you get the idea right here, right? And check out this form, the attachment reference to, again, teach the full form and short form, and a short explanation on present continuous. When we talk about things happening right now as we speak, we use the ing form. Okay. Then we are going to do the speaking activity. Okay, again, within your teacher's book, the instruction isn't to tell them, okay, friends, we're going to play a game. It's a miming game. This is how we're going to do it. That is not the instruction. Did you know that? The instruction is let the student look at the picture and ask them to guess what game they're playing. So friends, look at the picture. What game are they playing? What is it? What kind of game is it? They're going to say charades, miming game. Good. Now, you didn't have to explain the game. They figured it out. If there's any correction you need to make, then you say less TTT, increase SET. Right. So look at the boy. What is he doing? Everyone show me. All right, good. And how is the girl? The girl is guessing what? You're reading a book. Good. So then, when it's correct, what do you say? Yes, I am. When it's wrong, what do you say? No, I'm not. Good. Let's practice. Look at teacher. What am I doing? You're brushing your teeth. That's right. Yes, I am. Good. Now pair up. Two sitting next to each other. Go. Practice. A, you do the miming first. B, guess. Go. And so then go around the room. Make sure the student are doing it correctly. Oh, good job, friend. Let's switch. B now does the charade miming and A guesses. Go around the room again. Okay, good. Oh, I think you guys are getting good at this, but let's practice one more time. Front and back. Switch partners. Go. Go around the room, correct? Do it one more time. Do you ever need time as you feel the need or have the time to do in your classroom? And then, all right, friends, now let's do it together. Who wants to try first? Okay. Because you've given them about 15 minutes at least to practice before doing it together as a class, more students will feel confident and will want to do it. That's why we're going to spend 15 to 20 minutes in your classroom doing this. Good. I hope so too. All right, so then that's the first lesson. Then you go into the next lesson. Next lesson, it always starts with the reviewing of the previous. That's actually instructions given in your teacher's book. By the way, within the teacher's book, besides what you do here, we have optional activities, practice activities, as well as expansion activities, instruction given in your teacher's book. So please study and become familiar with teacher's book. Like I said, it is your Bible. Yeah. So the next lesson, you review the previous part, which is the speaking activity or the vocabulary words. You come to this section, it's same thing, vocabulary words. Then you come to this part. Well, sorry, let's look at the vocabulary word. She's planting a tree, I'm feeding the fish, they're eating, he's drinking water, he's watering the flowers, right? So then you come here. All right, friends, look at the picture. Again, I'm listening from the kids. Okay, what do you see? I see trees, good. I see Kelly, Ann, Mark, Brad. Okay, these are the characters from level 1. Oh, Lisa, excuse me. I think it's Lisa. Good. Okay, so then where are they? That's something they've learned in the past. Oh, at the park. Good, they're at the park. Good job, they're at the park. So these girls, what are they doing? They plant trees. Oh, what are they doing right now in the picture? They are planting trees, right? They're eating. She's planting a tree. Now they have to switch to their planting a tree, right? Again, little details. Okay, so good. What are they doing? They're talking. Good. What do you think they're saying? So, teacher, we cannot see. Okay, well, let's zoom in. So, what do you think they're talking about? Oh, about the girls they're planting. So, maybe they're asking the question. Okay. Oh, well, good job. Let's try listen.
2. Look and listen. The children are at the park.
Good job.
Look.
Are they planting trees?
Yes, they are.
What are those boys doing?
Okay, so friends, who's at the park? The kids or the friends? Okay, but what did it say here? The children are at the park. Oh, whose children? Right, children are kids, right? Okay, so the children are where? At the park. Good. And so what did they say? They asked, are the girls planting trees? And he said what? Yes, they are. And so you're checking, you're listening beforehand, help students to know what to listen out for. That helps really a lot of listening skills. And then you go to next page and then ask next frame, and it recycles the vocabulary words that they have just learned. Go to next page up to frame 3. I usually skip talking about frame 4 and watch the video because we always add a little fun ending to it. And so if there's a word, things that they don't listen well, you simply show the text clip. And
The children are at the park.
Okay, so friends, who's at the park? The children are at the park, right? Okay, so what's her name? What's the girl here, this girl? What's her name? I will ask simply without the text first. Okay, what's her name? So who's asking the question and who's answering? Teachers, your student actually has quite a difficult time doing this. Really, I've seen so many cases like it. It's reading between the lines that makes it real. Not just having them read this aloud, but reading between the lines, the ability to identify just with listening, that is what a successful teacher is, because you're teaching for communication, you're teaching a language, not subject. Right. Anyway, yes, this is Kelly, the girl watering the flower. Her name is Kelly. What is she doing? She's watering the flower. Again, you hear, student hears, I'm watering the flower. But with the questions you ask, just with listening, they get to say, she's watering the flowers. That is the application part. So it's really, only you can do that, teachers, right? So after making sure that student understand what the story is about, then you watch the video. Well, at least that is the process. You may switch it around as needed by class, but the recommendation and the idea of situation is to listen without elicit, listen and have student answer the questions, then listen again. And once they understand the story, then you watch the video. Now, here's another practical tip I like to remind you. Your question, right? First, your question should be graded, meaning like, where are they, right? And also with the target language they've learned. Another question is, should be graded to what they learned. So you should recycle what they've learned. Another question is, your question should be within what they're watching, what they need to listen. So meaning, because they see images of a park, right? If the story takes place at a park, you shouldn't be asking questions like, hey, do you like to go to the park? What do you do at the park? Oh, I love riding the slide. Okay, let's look at the next page. Or let's listen to the next frame. Although those are good questions, as soon as you ask about their real life, questions like, what do you like to go to the park? They will forget what they have just listened to. Yeah. And so please, your question should be within what? And at the end of the module, when you're doing the story, we have that real life, like applicable questions at the end. We ask you to save it till then or till the end of the class, right? Just don't do it when you're actually doing the lesson. Okay. Like this part. Okay, so after doing this part, then you go into target language, you teach it, be sure that they also have opportunity to make it and you correct them. Here's the reference page. Then you go to the part where you are checking their reading comprehension. And because these questions you've already asked while reading, listening to this, you're simply having them read the question and answer it themselves. Don't read it. You don't read it. Have student read it. Yeah. So have student read it. Are the children at the park? They should say yes, because you've already talked about it, right? But if they answer wrong, you click here. Yes, children are at the park. Are the girls planting trees? Yes, they are. Okay. Are the boys eating? Yes, they are. Oh, no, they aren't. Look here. They're drinking lemonade. Okay, is Anne watering the flowers? No, who was watering the flower? It was Kelly. Okay, these questions again, it should have been all asked. It should be asked as you're doing the situation part. Then you go to the listening. As I mentioned to you, you can turn this into a speaking activity. Very easy. Okay, friends, look at this boy in picture A. All right, is he watering the flowers? No, he's watering a plant. Looks like herb. Okay. How about them? What are they doing? They are feeding the fish. Okay. So you can ask, what are they doing? What is he doing? Is he? Because is he something? It's a target language they've learned previously, right? So then you do the speaking activity. Now let's listen. And I promise you, more students will be able to listen correctly, accurately, because you have talked about it. They're able to identify it better, right? But let's say your student struggles with reading. Well, voila. So show the text and have student read the text. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, woman 1, woman 2, men 1, men 2, right? Go. So if you have 4 students, this works perfectly. Woman 2, woman 1 that you've already assigned. They just read through. And you click here for answer. Now you come to the speaking activity. Again, idea here is to draw students' attention to the picture. Okay, so friends, you look at the picture. Picture A, right here, is different from picture B. Yeah, it's different. And so let's find out what's different. Look at Faye and Patty. What are they doing? They're planting trees. Well, look at Faye and Patty here. What are they doing? They're planting flowers. Good. So teacher, me, I will ask question using picture 1. You answer with picture B. So here's an example. Is Betty eating a sandwich? So here in this picture, Betty's eating a sandwich. Is Betty eating a sandwich? Oops. No, she isn't. She's drinking lemonade. So your student may say, no. Then what do? No, she isn't. Good, she's drinking lemonade, right? You encourage complete sentence. Good, let's try that one more time. Is Ron drinking lemonade? No, he isn't. He's feeding the fish. Good, pair up, go practice. And that's your 20 to 25 minutes. All right. So then, third lesson, it's a cultural topic. So you're going to talk about kids from different parts of the world and their experience using what they're doing at the moment of their speaking. And it's the negative form. Here you're teaching them okay. Here we're teaching, so before, up to this lesson, the verb word we used was simply changing it to ing, but here it's irregular, so we are switching it a little bit, right? And so then if you look here, we have instructions on forming ing of different forms. So then you can give a little example practice in it. Again, in the teacher's book, we give you how to do this step by step. The grammar part, explanation, different examples as well. Then you go to the comprehension checking activities, listening activity, then the speaking activity. Then you come to a fourth lesson. It's a brand new target language about what time it is, right? Then let's go to the fifth lesson. Here, the presentation lessons where they learned new target language, they're coming together in a new light. Let's see how. What are they doing? Lesson 1, 2, 3, 4 of the which lesson? Kind of tricky one, 1 and 2. But question forms are level lesson 2. And here, this sentence, are they playing soccer? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, affirmative sentence, right? Look at the ball, it's black and white. The players are wearing shorts and t-shirts. Again, lesson 1. You can't touch the ball with your hands. That's from module 2, level 2. Now, how do you recycle lesson 2 and 3 in another way? All right, friends, here's how. It's you must do that. And so that's what this is when I'll ask the question. All right, friends, are players in UK, are they wearing helmets? No, they aren't. They're wearing shorts and t-shirts. They're not wearing helmets. They're wearing shorts and t-shirts. So negative form and affirmative sentence. Right? So this is how you recycle. And the instructions as well as the background information with the difference between football and soccer, like American football and UK soccer, football, the ideas of it. Background information is given in your teacher's book. You check the comprehension. Now they're going to write about traditional games of their country. So we're starting to go into the application activities, like a project-based activity. Then you come to the story section. And here, we want our students to look with their books closed, look at this, and recall the target language. So friends, and so this is how you can teach. Friends, we're reading a new story. It's called what? Grasshopper and the Ant. Right, what's this? It's a grasshopper. What's this? It's an ant. Good. What is ant doing? Ant's studying. Ant's reading a book. Okay, good. Look at grasshopper. All right, what do you think grasshopper is saying? Or what time is it? Look at the sun in the back. All right, look at Ant's face. Is Ant happy? The answer shouldn't be yes or no, but no, it isn't. Yes, it is. Okay, oh, so if he's not happy, what is he feeling? Oh, he's angry. Oh, why do you think he's angry or mad? Because grasshopper wants to play, but ant can't. Oh, nice guess. Let's listen to see if you're correct. Can you listen? They will be listening much more intently, and it becomes so much more fun. Because then with your questions, you've drawn out their creativity, you're checking to see their ability to recycle the things that they have learned, meaning have they internalized it, right? And then you're going to this part right here. And so they're tuning into it much more intently, and that makes it so much more fun then. All right, friends, let's listen. Let's say it. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm studying, I'm studying, I'm studying, I'm studying 10 times and memorizing it. Because even if they memorize, I'm studying grasshopper, can they look at this picture and say, it's watering the flower. I'm watering the flower, right? It's a matter of them looking at the picture, recall it, and say it in a correct, complete sentence. And we'll go step beyond that. We listen and we ask questions like, okay, friends, now grasshopper, why is grasshopper not helping ant? Now we're going to step beyond. So we're having our student read between the lines. This is possible because we practice, we limit, we recycle the target language again and again. We have given it time to internalize, understand when and how to use it. Then the reading between the line, inferring ability skills happen. And so if student can't answer, what do? Don't tell them the answer. You simply play.
Hello again. What are you doing?
I'm watering the flowers. Can you help me?
I can't now. I'm tired.
Okay, so I know there's that error. I'll fix that. But I play the audio, ask the question again. Why can't grasshopper help ant? Because it's tired. Because grasshopper is tired. Right, but do you think grasshopper is really tired? No, it's grasshopper is lazy. Right. So wait, how many have done your homework today? Are you really? Why didn't you do it? Because I'm tired. Were you really tired? Right? Okay, well, that wasn't the best time to bring that question up, but at the end, I think that makes a good point. But I hope you're laughing. Okay, so then this is what you do. And at the end, we're going to have value, like more lessons, hard work pays off. And if you look at your teacher's book, we have post-story activity. It says to draw students' attention to the value and read it out loud, explain in L1 and discuss it with students. Like questions is, do you think that the grasshopper should have helped the ant? Yes. Okay, why? Okay, then you have student discuss. Why do you think that the ant helped the grasshopper in the end? Right, this is when we go beyond, we become a language now, not just the English subject, but language. Here's another question. What would you do? Last question. Do you think you should work hard and why? You are not only there to kill time, to make money, then this is how you become a teacher, an educator, right? I know we all come from a different education background, and however we end up here in this English teaching industry, I think we all have this desire to do good for the other human beings. And you're working with kids where they're developing into a human being, and I just love that. Like, we go beyond. We help you become a teacher and educator, not just the way to kill time with the kids. Okay, of course that's not what you're doing, right? Okay, so then you watch the video, check comprehension, then you go to the final part. We don't end with the review and go take the test right away. We have what's called a timeout video. This worksheet, this part you can access from the main menu right here. So then you will need to print off separately from the teacher's resource material. So then you print and you watch this video. Now this timeout video is divided into 3 sections. 1 is the vocabulary, 2 is let's chat, 3 is what are they doing? So 2 and 3, it changes. And so we're going to watch, and I'm going to help you identify what is the purpose of this 2
Let's
videos.
chat.
What are you doing, Jack? I'm playing a computer game. This game is so much fun. Come and play with me. Okay. How do you play? Here is a part of a picture. We have to guess what the boy or girl is doing. Easy. Oh, you need 2 more points to win?
Oh, I like that. Oh, we need 2 more points to win. Because very realistic conversation right here. Now let's go to part 3.
What are they doing? This is Jenny and her brother Mark. What are they doing? They're having breakfast. They're happy. This is Kelly and her grandmother. Are they also having breakfast? No, they aren't. They are making a cake. What is he doing? He's skateboarding. He's very good. Is he wearing a hat? No, he isn't. That isn't a hat. It's a helmet. It's black.
I hope you see. Part 2 is a conversation between 2 friends. They use the target language as well as something they have learned in the previous module, mixing it to in a new situation, talking to each other, right? Like casual conversation. But go to part 8, right? It's someone narrating the situation, asking the question as well as stating an answer, recycles the target language from previous module, right? So in essence, we're trying to show students the as we in this module, how the target language used when you're in a conversation with somebody versus when you're presenting, when you're narrating in front of another person or people, right? And so that's the purpose of this timeout video. And we have that worksheet, which you've seen here, right? But we have created additional worksheets in the teacher's resource material for part 3 only. And so I will show you more about that when I get to that page of teacher's resource material. Now I'm going to need to show you 2 more lessons in the workbook. Self-evaluation, there's one for every module. The idea is to do it and check. It's different from the test. You have students identify how much they have learned from not knowing anything. And so then you go to workbook. After finishing the self-evaluation, you go to what's called Now I Can. Depending on how many questions they got correct, you have them color in the number of stars. And so you encourage students visually themselves, 5 stars to 6 stars, 7 stars. Okay, you have 6 stars today. Next module, let's shoot for 7 stars. Next module, let's shoot for 8 or 9 or 10, depending on the number of stars, right? And so that's the idea here. Then you go to, if you go to even number modules, you're going to see what's called the SMART moves, or critical thinking skills. So as you can see here, it reviews 2 modules, modules 3 and 4. If you look, it says to have student read and write T for true, F for false, DK for don't know. And so the number 1, again, have student read, teacher is carrying books. True. Okay. Who? Mrs. Jones. Okay, say it in a complete sentence. Mrs. Jones is carrying books. Okay, a boy is reading. True. Who? Jim. Say it. Jim is reading. Okay, good. Reading a book. Oh, even better. Good job. They have extended by themselves. Okay, 3. A boy is planting an apple tree. True. Who? Bill. Oh my gosh. It's DK. You don't know. Why? Oh, we don't know if it's an apple tree. All right. So then you go to next part, which is the module 4. All right. And so, which we haven't looked at it together. But here, who's saying this? I'm thirsty. Tom. How do you know? Because Tom's drinking something, or drinking lemonade, drinking juice. Good. B. Who's saying it? Okay. Andy, because he's in the classroom. We should be quiet. The idea of we should do something is in part of module 4, lesson 3. I like this book. Who's saying that? Jim, because he's reading. Right? And so you do that, and then you go to next part. We haven't covered all 8 characters, just 4 or 5 of them. And so now look at the picture, choose a boy or girl, guess what he or she's doing, and have your partner say the name. So you have to write different sentences of ing form or who's saying what. So the statement form, and the partner has to guess. So if student has learned module 3 and 4 well, this becomes a very easy 20-minute lesson, or it becomes a 50-minute lesson because you're going to be reviewing the target language and repeat practice. Then we got the top skills, again, reviewing modules 3 and 4. If they have learned it well, these questions are what you'll see in the Cambridge exam, the speaking activity. In fact, this is one of their favorite speaking activity. Identify the differences and then say. So in picture 1, it's what? It's 9:30. And in picture 2, it's 4:15. Here in picture 1, she's reading a book, but here in picture 2, she's eating a sandwich, right? Because we have learned in module 3 and 4. So they're using the same target language in a new light with the exam type of questions from Cambridge. Okay, so that is pretty much it within the module. We have 2 games which you can do optionally. All right, now let me show you what you have in the teacher's resource material. So I need to go to the USB. So go to item 3, click on top stars. The TRCD, Teacher's Resource CD or material. You click here, click on the level you need. And the test, obviously, you have the test, modify the version, Word doc file right here, so you can add more questions. You can see midterm and final test here as well. You can find the answer keys here. Listening file for the test are also here. Oh, oops. You can also see the special days self-evaluation. Actually, let me show it to you. 미리 보기차. So you have the worksheet for self-evaluation, which module 3, let me show you for module 3. Now I can talk about free time activities. I can talk about activities happening at the moment of speaking, right? Then you got the special day in the IWB. Now you have it in a worksheet form, which you can print and give to the student so they can cut, color, and do things. We have the word list. As you can see, it's organized by module and by lesson. It's in a PPT format, so you can simply erase the areas you want and turn it into a test. We also have the irregular verbs that was in the IWB. Right here, that was in the IWB, also in the word list. Now you have the flashcards. It's organized by alphabetically. And we have organized them by modules and by lesson. So you can simply print it. You can print multiple pages into one, cut it into smaller pieces and give it to each student for a game-like activity, recycling activities. And finally, the timeout video, the video worksheet, it's here. Okay, so what are you doing? That was exactly what you saw on the IWB. Now, because this isn't in the student book, so you have the teacher's guide, separate teacher's guide to teach this specifically. So you have the vocabulary word structures that is being recycled, as well as the description of the episode, how to do the warm-up, answer sheet, while watching, as well as the transcript, part 3 transcript, as well as the activities and instructions to do after watching the video. Now I mentioned to you for part 3, we really enjoyed this part and wanted to practice. And so we created an extra worksheet. So it's the same material. We have given you the original form. We have one with the first alphabet Q in the front. We have another one that takes away the alphabet Q. And then we have made one that we feel like students should be able to hear and do. So this may be a little difficult, but again, not everyone's the same, right? So you can make your own that's most appropriate for your class. So we have given you the full entire text transcript typed out here for you to make your own ones for your class. Okay. I think this also, if you look at the top stars folder right here, student may view the student CD online. So we have given instructions on how to view it and what's available in there. So I invite you to give this to the parents before you start. I've tried to document everything I'm telling you on the training in the PDF, excuse me, PPT. And so please take a look at this or give it to the new teachers and how to do the dictation activity as a class along with the timeout video. So we've given you new teacher's manual for that specific one right here. Okay, I really enjoy teaching top stars I as a teacher, it really lessens the preparation time. But I first had to put a lot of time on understanding and this, all of it. But once you do, it's just so easy. And what you love most is that it's effective. Kids will have fun. The comments I receive from students is that 뻔하지 않아서 좋아요, 재밌어요, meaning it's not obvious. That's why it's interesting and it's fun. And I promise you, really, that is the outcome you can expect from your students. Okay, well, thank you so much for spending your morning with me. I hope you find this helpful. I'm gonna turn off the video, recording.
Recording stopped.
Okay, now if you have time, we have about 10 minutes time for any question, concerns you have about top stars. If not, you're free to go home. I mean, prepare for your day. Any questions? Okay. If not, I'd love to hear your feedback. What has been working well for you? What do you love about top stars? Or you can just go. Alrighty. For those who are going, you have a great day. Christy, it's good to see you and your teachers. Thank you. Are you still there, teachers? Oh, I guess not. 화이팅. Bye.